Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the Pennhurst Asylum. Now, for a little bit of background about Pennhurst Asylum, it was opened in 1908 as a home for the mentally and physically impaired, and Pennhurst pretty much kept to themselves until around 1968. A reporter named Bill Baldini made a documentary called Suffer the Little Children, which was a 5-part news series about the conditions at Pennhurst Asylum. Pennhurst Asylum's conditions were pretty bad due to a $4 million debt, around a 200 or something like that patient overcrowding, and the treatment of patients were only some of the problems at Pennhurst. The documentary was included for interviews with staff, doctors, and patients. And Bill even asked some of the patients that if they could have anything in the world, they were all said to get out of Pennhurst. Some doctors quoted saying that he gave the most painful injection that wouldn't cause permanent damage to a patient as punishment. About 6 years after the documentary was aired, on May 30th, 1974, Terry Halderman sued Pennhurst Asylum on charges of patient abuse and violation of her rights. She said that the staff at Pennhurst would beat and drug patients as punishments, and in 1977 the court ruled in favor of Terry Halderman, and Pennhurst Asylum was closed down in 1986. Now, in the last decade or so, people have been hearing voices or seeing things in or near Pennhurst. There's a legend that of the patients who died in Pennhurst Asylum, they can't rest because of what happened to them inside of the asylum, whether they just died there or were abused. That they are stuck there and their spirits are afraid and angry. People have been investigating Pennhurst Asylum for paranormal activity since a few years ago. Even TV shows like Ghost Adventures have had Pennhurst Asylum featured on their show. Timothy Smith, who's the president of the Pennhurst Paranormal Association, and Randy Bates, who runs haunted houses like the Bates Motel, open up the asylum to the public during the Halloween season. But just because people don't set up these haunted houses doesn't mean the spirits will go away. Now, this is kind of where it gets weird. There's been all sorts of reports of spirits saying things or people seeing things. Some people have reported hearing things like, "Go away," "Why don't you leave?" "Why'd you come here?" "I'll kill you," and "I'm scared." People don't know where these voices are coming from, so the speculation is that ghosts are involved. People from all around come to investigate the area and say there is a bunch of paranormal activity. The Shore Paranormal Research Society has been to the area multiple times and recorded what they saw in each of the buildings. In the Quaker building, people have seen shadows appearing and disappearing on the walls. EVPs, or electronic voice phenomenon, and EMF, electromagnetic field, spike up whenever they're in the building. Investigators have reported to have been shoved and scratched in the building. Doors and rocking chairs move without anyone touching them, and objects have been thrown around the basement without anyone touching them either. In the Limerick building, people who have gone in said they saw a woman in an old nurse's uniform, and the building also gives off EVPs. In the Devon building, people have reported hearing strange sounds, and the building also gave off EVPs like all the other buildings. In the Mayflower building, people have claimed that they've seen shadows of other people at different times in the building, and EVPs have also gone off in this building. Investigators said they felt that they were touched on the legs in this building. In the Tinicum building, the building also gave off EVPs like the rest, and investigators also said they had their legs touched. In the Philadelphia building, people have reported to hear sounds and voices coming from in the building. And when investigators surrounded the building, they entered it through the tunnel system, and they said no one could have gotten in or out of the building without being seen by another person. In the administration building, people have heard different voices, and another EVP was caught of a toilet flushing. However, the building has no running water or even a bathroom. And lastly, in the Hershey building, a little girl's voice was heard coming up from the third floor. There have been countless reports piled up against Pennhurst from people who've been in any of Pennhurst buildings said that they felt like someone was watching them the whole time they were there. Other people who have been in the building say they saw shadows on the walls or in the doors. People have heard different noises like slamming doors, banging noises, screaming, or dragging noises and footsteps while they were in any of the buildings. People have also felt they've been pushed, scratched, or just felt that there was something else there. There have been countless reports from just inside Pennhurst. One psychic medium named Sharon Pugh said she felt different energies and even demonic forces in the Quaker building. There have been a lot of different reports from people who go on the tours in the buildings as well. One woman said she took pictures in the asylum, and when she looked at them later, she saw orbs and full-body shadows in the picture. These are only a few of the paranormal reports from Pennhurst. People have even seen half-bodied and full-bodied ghosts, including a woman wearing white and a little girl with blonde hair. People who have gone into the building have heard doors being slammed, screaming noises, or the sound of people being dragged. Some people even heard piano playing in certain areas and whispers and footsteps in others. Others have seen what appears to be ghosts looking out from around corners and out windows. Some people saw shadows and have felt items being thrown, but they couldn't see if anyone ever threw them. People sometimes have felt that their anxiety levels spiked up like they were having a complete anxiety attack, and they said they felt that they were being watched while they were in any of the buildings. Even when they got out of the building, they felt fine, but when they went back in, it just spiked up again. Actual professional ghost hunters have been into the building and said that the EMF was completely out of control in some parts of the building, and then in the next room there wasn't even EMF at all, as if something just passed by it in a building. Now, no one really knows if ghosts exist, but there's countless evidence piled up against Pennhurst if it's haunted or not. I can't say it's not haunted, and I can't say it is. I think that it is haunted, because there is no way you can explain most of that stuff, because there is no one else in the building besides the person that's hearing the things. Most people don't consider ghosts to be real. They just think that it can be explained by science, and I don't think that's true. I don't think that a building without running water could make a toilet flushing sound. I don't think that some random piano could start playing in the middle of nowhere, and I don't think that anxiety attacks are just being caused in certain buildings. If anything is influencing the people in the buildings, I don't know what is besides something paranormal. Professionals have been in and out of buildings, and they say there's something, so I think there could be. There's been so many more accounts against Pennhurst. From shadows, sounds, even people seeing other people just running down the halls. But ghosts aren't really real, are they? All those people just died a long time ago. It's probably nothing. But how do you explain all of that? All of those accounts of those people who say they saw something in the building. You can't just say it's nothing, because it's not fair to think there's nothing there. I don't know how to explain it. Professionals don't know how to explain it. They just say that there is ghosts, and I think there is. There are ghost stories all over the world, and more things are explainable than this. So, If there is ghosts in Pennhurst, I think there is. But people believe something is in there. And if there is something or not, the mystery remains. So, is the Pennhurst Asylum haunted? Are the ghosts of tortured patients still lurking? I think there's something definitely there. The noises, the sounds, the feelings. There has to be something in there paranormal that is influencing those people. I mean, if you look at the facts of all those people who died in there, how can you be really sure that there's not something in there? But who knows? Happy hunting.